Destination Newry, it's the morning programme. Good morning, Newry, and morning on the world. And with me, Liam Fitzsimmons from the Newry Veterinary Centre over on Patrick Street, at the heart of the city of Newry. Yeah. How are things in the last week? Was it a busy week for you, Liam?
It is getting busier at night.
Why at night? What's the story?
Because there's lambs and calves being born, and
yeah.
So I worked the night before last, and I was in bed for about 3 hours.
My goodness. And how many lambs would you have lambed, or sheep would you have lambed in that time? Ewes?
That night I had one ewe cesarean, and I delivered two calves.
Yeah, goodness gracious.
And there's a sick dog and a sick cow.
And you're going out to into the fields or to the buyers to do this?
Well, buyers have gone now.
So they're in the fields?
They're not in fields, they're in big houses.
Big houses, they're there, yeah, and looking after them there. But I mean, you can, when you go out with your bag of tricks, and I've seen it on Harriet, you could be coming into anything, you know.
You do not know what you're going out to, and occasionally it still is in the field.
Yeah.
And cesareans done by lamplight or torchlight or car light.
Yeah. Cesarean isn't as easy as it seems, because you have the whole wall of muscle to go through, and all the nerves and all the blood vessels and all the rest of it. And then there's the rebuilding of the wound again. Getting the animal out, the baby out, is the easy part. Restitching is the difficult part. Yeah. And it all depends on the mother, whether she's fractious or how well the local anaesthetic works. Yeah, and and it's all done under local. Yeah, it's not general. And can you leave the stitching to one of your minions? I say, you do the stitching. No, you're there on your own. Wow, you gotta be. So, not unless you ask the farmer to do it, but... No, I wouldn't be going down that road. I see the reporter today is the story of some horses on the hills. They've now been, they're the product of an order, but they're going to be euthanized as a possibility. The story basically is Newry Mourne District Council has been granted a disposal order for 3 abandoned horses removed from the mountains of Mourne in January. And it says that after we're talking here about blah 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 blah. His plight was first high after a member of the public had been feeding them on a daily basis, but they may now be rehomed in an animal sanctuary. Although it could mean that the order could mean they have to be euthanized. So it's a new home in a sanctuary, or euthanasia. A disposal order doesn't necessarily mean euthanasia. It means that the animal is at the council's discretion what it does with it, and by and large they're sent to sanctuaries. The problem is very few people actually want horses now. At a time, every child wanted their pony, and it was on livery at 40 or 50 pounds a week. But circumstances have changed, and these horses are now being thrown out and abandoned and turned into fields. And the problem is, if you own a field which a horse has been turned into, you are responsible for that animal as a farmer. You obviously can't just open the gate and shove it out. You can't open the gate and let them out. Because there are implications of traffic and all the rest of it, and danger and whatever. And that has happened around the town as well. People have hit horses. Oh yeah, of course. Then of course we were talking about lambing, the lambing season. Stray dogs going out into the countryside, and the farmer's right to shoot them if that's happening. Is there much of that going on? Dog worrying is a constant problem due to owners probably letting their dogs stray. People think their dogs are not capable of attacking sheep. A dog is a wolf in dog's clothing, quite literally. And if especially they get into a pack, they will hunt. And sheep are an easy target. And even Jack Russells, Labradors can be vicious killers. Way. Yeah. You wouldn't have thought that, especially with the Labrador. You'd think he would be a gentle fellow. Labrador and Jack Russells, if they form packs, are a disaster. Really? Yeah. We want to make sure they don't do that. Are people, generally speaking, becoming better pet owners? Is there a bit of responsibility coming into heads? I think there is. I'm 25 years qualified. When I came to Newry 24 odd years ago, dogs, I'll not say seldom at the vet. We used to operate on a Wednesday morning. And we was only vets in the town, I think, operating it at that time. Only ones that did small animal. Whereas now there are 4 practices in the town, all of which are operating every day. So people are bringing their pets. Yeah. Cats maybe are slightly underrepresented still, but I would say we're 10 years behind England. Yeah, the English love their pets, big time indeed. Yeah. What does your day hold today? What sort of stuff have you on the program? What are your consultations? We have a leg amputation today. Oh my God! What is that on? A small pup. A small pup. Yeah. Nasty break. It came in the night before last. Was X-rayed. Dog's not insured.
So to fix the leg probably would have been £700 or £800.
Aye.
So
Taking the leg off.
taking the leg. It sounds terrible, but there are a lot of three-legged dogs running about the town perfectly okay.
Yeah, I've seen Donald John, my friend, God rest him. He had a three-legged dog he looked after, and there wasn't a bit of bother on it. It could do it, you know. And the insurance is, if you're going to have an animal, I think it's hugely important that you consider insurance and do it right.
Insurance is a good idea if you haven't the money there to spend. We had a dog at Christmas, got knocked down, and if pups come into us, they normally get a month's free insurance.
Yeah.
That's part of a standard, it's a freebie, added incentive. And the dog was knocked down over Christmas, 2 broken legs, farm dog. Very badly broken. We sent it down to the veterinary college in Dublin, and the bill was £3,500.
Oh, sweet God.
But the dog was insured to 4. So they paid £90 access, and that was it.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, that's... that is there an inclination, not that you can say, but because it's insured, then the prices go up because they know it's going to be covered by insurance, like that veterinary hospital in Dublin. It's insured, oh, so it's going to be £3,500, you know.
I have to say no. But
You have to say. I love your honesty.
It's like
on point honesty.
Yeah, it's like body shops or whatever for the cars.
Yeah.
If you go on your own bat to get your car fixed.
Yeah.
And if you go with an insurance.
Yeah, it's a different ball. Yeah. So is it a complex operation to take? Which leg is it that's coming
It's a
off?
hind leg. I think
a hind
it's the
leg.
right hind.
The right hind leg, yeah. And the process of doing that, it's you take it off at the ball socket?
No, we take it off sort of mid-femur. But that way the dog has a stump and it's able to balance itself with the stump.
Yeah. So mid-femur, and then it's the dressing of it afterwards and the making sure
There shouldn't
it's
be a need
covered.
for dressing.
No?
Leave it open, yeah. If you we use a lot of buster collars to keep the dogs away from the wind.
Of course.
Sort of an Elizabethan collar.
Yeah.
And we find that it works well.
It works well, absolutely.
But it must have been a horrible job in the battlefield years ago in humans.
Oh, yeah.
A bottle of whiskey and
Of course.
the saw. We still
Did you
use
hear
the saw.
the awful thing this week coming out of Syria? They have no anesthesia to operate on people. They're using a hammer to knock them out. Goodness gracious. I couldn't believe it. I heard it in the World Service. Absolutely awful. So you're operating this morning. What about consulting? That's happening.
Consulting will be taking place as we speak.
And you'll be going back to that now.
Yeah.
War on Point's strong for you as well. You're keeping the animal population there well. Yeah. Still happy with your work? Why wouldn't you be?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Wish you well. Go well. Take care.
Thank you very much.
That's the man that's Liam Fitzsimmons there from Newry Veterinary. I always have difficulty with that word, veterinary. Practice in Newry, keeping our population of small animals and larger animals on the farms safe and well. Sean.